Condemnation from all political parties after two KwaZulu-Natal councillors are brutally murdered. Police Minister Bheki Cele talks tough on women abuse as the country grapples with a spate of violent gender-based incidents. This is eNews Weekend Edition. Good evening, I'm Gareth Edwards. This is our top story. The ANC in KwaZulu-Natal says urgent action should be taken to curb the recurring assassinations of political leaders in the province. This after two political leaders were gunned down. Former councillor Masawenkosi was killed in front of his family in Pietermaritzburg, and IFP councillor Siobaselo Tlamini was shot dead in Ulundi. It comes just a few days after another ANC leader was slain.
We have been in and out of regions, speaking to regions, emphasizing that there must be openness. We must all be prepared to address problems and ensure that the organization operates smoothly without all of these challenges. We have met with structures. The NWC has gone with us to address all of these issues. And that's why we are saying we will take time to address these issues and not just rush.
Well, the IFP is mourning the loss of one of its councillors, Siobaselo Tlamini. MP and Tlamini's friend, Umkaleko Hlengwa, is calling on authorities to tackle political murders. He says this is especially important ahead of next year's general elections.
At this point in time, we can't speculate. We are reliant on the police to make arrests so that those who have committed this act can explain themselves. But if it is a political killing, of course, the IFP will be very, very concerned by it, because we want to ensure that the electoral environment is conducive for elections that are free and fair and free from fear. We are laying a solid foundation for improving our electoral showing, and we don't want the election activities to be compromised by violence. We certainly want to change the political game and work with ourselves, and then take back this province with the barrel of the ballot. That's the barrel of the gun. And we are calling on all political parties to ensure we work together as cooperation with the enforcement agencies and communities so that these criminals can be caught, brought to book, and we can clean out the province. We are sick and tired of this violence, and like I said, the IFP does not carry itself in a manner which is violent and one which results in killing. So this is a shock to us. We are not expecting anything of the sort because we have had stability within the party, and we are pleased with preparing for the elections next year. And so this takes us back now a few steps, because we now have to contend with the reality that this may be a political killing.
Democratic Alliance KwaZulu-Natal leader Zwakele Nqwango also offered the DA's deepest condolences to the families of the deceased. He said they're concerned that in the past 24 hours there has been bloodshed in that province with a history of course, violence and murder. Nqwango says the province had become a slaughterhouse and has now called on police to do even more.
Our province is becoming a slaughterhouse for politicians, and our worry is this will really cause a threat to our democracy. If politicians get killed every day, the question is who will want to join politics, who will want to play a role in our country and build this new democracy. We always say it's old now. 24 is not really old. The question is the young people who aspired to bring about change in our country, are they going to be interested to join politics if politics has become a death sentence for everyone? And we are saying our intelligence also is also failing us, because I keep asking myself a lot of questions. Where is our intelligence in South Africa? Why we never get any reports where intelligence is saying we have actually protected a politician who was nearly be killed?
Well, the Deputy President of the National Teachers Union has survived an attempted assassination. Alan Thompson was approached by heavily armed unknown gunmen while in his car in Durban. The incident happened as he was coming off the N2 highway to join the M41 to Umhlanga. The assailants shot at Thompson a couple of times, but they did miss. Thompson then tried to evade his attackers and drove to a hospital in Umhlanga. They followed him. After not being able to find him inside the building, they then broke into his car. The assailants stole bags with important documents, an undisclosed amount of money, and also 2 laptops. The documents are regarded as crucial to an imminent forensic investigation regarding KZN's Department of Education. Well, in other news now, the first ever memorial lecture for the killing of young women has taken place in Soweto. Social Development Minister Susan Shabangu and Police Minister Bheki Cele attended that event. The lecture is part of efforts by the Gauteng Social Development Department to tackle the scourge of femicide. Shabangu says young boys must be taught to deal with their pain.
The NEC, Comrade Banyaza, shared with us what has been a secret for many, many years: the abuse of a boy child. I'm raising this because it's important. It's within the context of the violence in our society. He's referring to that as part of initiations. This is just a drop in the ocean of what he said, because the abuse of boys, it's never told, it's never shared.
Meanwhile, Bheki Cele says police officials need to prioritise cases of abused women and children.
I'm calling Amapoisa to make sure that they protect anybody, women especially, who walks in the police station to seek the assistance. Prosecution. There are these Schedule 5 and 6 cases. I believe the abuse and assault of women should be Schedule 6 if it is not Schedule 6. Which means that person doesn't get the bail. Which means that person doesn't get the bail. Any person that gets the bail, the first thing that he thinks to do is to eliminate evidence. And the evidence that is there is a raped woman. So by granting that person a bail, we are causing that person not to go and abuse that woman, but to go and kill that woman. So the justice cluster must help us to really prioritize the cases against women and children.
Students should never be quiet when their lovers abuse them. This was the message at the funeral of slain Mangosuthu University of Technology student Zulile Khumalo. Khumalo was shot and killed by her ex-boyfriend Tabani Umzolo at the institution's Lonsdale residence in Durban on the 1st of May. The university says over 10 women students have since reported their alleged abuse. Tuba Velane attended the funeral and filed this report.
Thousands of mourners came to pay their last respects to Zulile Khumalo. Most were fellow students from Mangosuthu. The 21-year-old quantity surveying student was shot allegedly by her ex-boyfriend at her residence. The suspect apparently admitted on his Facebook page that he had shot Zulile. Tabani Mzolo was arrested and has appeared in court. Students say they no longer feel safe at their residences.
Since they've promised us that the security will be tightened, so yeah, we are going to be safe, that's for sure, because our president has promised us that we're going to be safe.
Student representatives have appealed to varsity management to tighten up security, even at the off-campus residence. They also called on all students, especially women, to report incidents of abuse by their lovers.
What we've learned the most from this is there are so many women who are being abused by males. And they only now starting to come out to say, I don't want what happened to Zulile to happen to me. Now they are coming out forward to say, I have so-and-so who has been abusing me for such a long time. And such incidents are being taken really seriously.
University management is committed to improving security at their residences. The university will also continue to assist all students affected by this inhuman act.
We have provided counseling services, we have psychologists in place, and we know that they've missed some academic activities because of court appearances and also other activities that were arranged. Our academics are very sympathetic. We have emphasized with our academics to help our students to cope.
The family says It has lost a light that was about to brighten up the whole family.
When you look at her, we are just looking at the leader that is coming up. And when I look even at what the university students have been saying, they were also seeing the leader in her. So we've just lost a leader that was coming up.
The suspect, Thabani Mzolo, is due back in court next week on Thursday. Thuba Vilane, Mpaphala, KwaZulu-Natal.
And coming up after the short break, SARS customs officials have confiscated close to 2 million rand in foreign currency at Cape Town International Airport. Welcome back. SARS customs officials have confiscated close to 2 million rand in foreign currency at Cape Town International Airport. The money was hidden in the luggage of a South African man heading to Dubai. Police officials received a tip-off at OR Tambo International Airport. After the man was approached at the airport, customs officials discovered 10 packets of currency hidden amongst his clothing. Disgraced former Western Cape Police Commissioner Arno Lamour and his co-accused will be back in the dock on Monday. The High Court in Cape Town will hear their application for leave to appeal their sentences. The veteran cop has been sentenced to an effective 6 years in jail for corruption. Lester Kibbett has more.
Former Western Cape Police Commissioner Arno Lamour was appointed in 2010. At a parade of new recruits to the police service, he instructed new officers to bring back respect to a tarnished police image.
This is what it's all about. The honor of the badge, the pride in the uniform that you're wearing.
At the same event, he even warned of the dangers of greed.
Just before the World Cup, a police officer was killed in Soweto. And in the interaction with the family, the father-in-law stated to us that a young trainee just finished with their basic training stated the following to a warrant officer of 15 years. This trainee said, "Warrant, you are stupid to be a warrant officer for 15 years. I only joined this organization to get rich." And how will they get rich? Through corruption. And this morning I want to warn all of you, this beautiful blue uniform that you're currently in will be easily be replaced by an orange one of correctional services.
And now Lamour is getting his own orange uniform. He and co-accused and friend Salim Douji have been sentenced to an effective 6 years in prison for corruption. 2 other former police officers were also sentenced. Police say the sentence sends a message that corruption won't be tolerated. Lester Kibbett, Cape Town.
Time now for a look at international news. Kenyan authorities are investigating a dam burst that has killed dozens of people. 44 people lost their lives on Wednesday night after heavy rains, and at least another 40 are still missing. 3 people have been killed in the latest wave of anti-government demonstrations in Nicaragua. This brings the death toll to 66. The protests began in April with students fighting against social security reform. Calls are now mounting for President Daniel Ortega to step down. And voting has begun in Iraq's parliamentary election. The poll comes 5 months after the country declared victory over the Islamic State. Over 7,000 candidates are vying for 329 parliamentary seats. A reminder of your top stories. Condemnation from all political parties after 2 KwaZulu-Natal councillors are brutally murdered. Police Minister Bheki Cele talks tough on woman abuse as the country grapples with a spate of violent gender-based incidents. Actor and musician Nakane, formerly known as Nakane Toure, is currently touring Europe. After the release of his second album, he was visiting home earlier this week, and Lindiwe Sithole took the opportunity to catch up with him. He spoke about his new music, being an individual, and life after the controversial film eNCA.
He's a Summer Award winner, the recipient of a Golden Horn Award from the SAFTAs for Best Actor in a Feature Film for eNCA. And simply goes by the name Nakane. The Eastern Cape-born artist is one of very few openly gay musicians in the country.
Being an openly gay man, do you find that there are some hurdles that you face in the music industry or just in your career in general?
Yeah. Straight people get first dibs on everything. Because they're seen as the default. They're seen as what's right, whereas in a lot of spaces queer people are still seen as, I don't know, something deviant, something perverse. So on some level queer people are always trying to prove that they're not.
At the moment he's focusing on touring and promoting his latest album, You Will Not Die.
Tell us about that album, in fact. It's called You Will Not Die. Yes, and Elton John having to play clairvoyant on BBC One.
I knew what I wanted the songs to be, and getting there took longer than I thought.
Yeah.
And I guess also the subject matter I was trying to write about. I was trying to go back to my formative years. I was trying to write about me not being a Christian anymore.
Here at home, you can expect to see him perform at Bushfire in Swaziland and Baseline Festival at Constitution Hill. Lindo Estole, Johannesburg.
That's eNews at 7. Good night.